What's up, guys? A Gamer here, and we're here with E3 Day 3 review. Now, today I'll be discussing three big conferences: Ubisoft, PlayStation, and the PC gaming show. Now, I'm sure there were a ton of other events that went on yesterday, but the big ones have pretty much already happened. And yesterday it was Ubisoft, Sony, and the PC Gamer Conference. Today it'll be Nintendo, PlayStation, Assassin's Creed, and we'll cover that in a little bit. So, day 3 of E3, let's get right into it. So let's start with the PC Gaming Show, which was probably the most boring one of yesterday. With the PC Gaming Show sponsored by Intel, and a bunch of dudes are kind of sitting in chairs, like patting themselves on the back and patting PCs on the back. And it was really boring. They were talking about VR in esports. 500 million esport viewers in 2018 to be predicted. Intel is going to be partners with ESL Esports League. 10 CSGO tournaments with $1 million prize purse. Just a ton of boring, stupid stuff. But then they announced XCOM 2 War of the Chosen, which I guess is some DLC for XCOM 2, a very popular game, and it's an expansion. The trailer was released. It was the announced trailer, and it'll be on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, so it really wasn't that much of a PC thing, but XCOM's most popular on PC. And then they go over to this woman named Sonia Reed to introduce this stupid looking game called Ooblets, which looks like it should be on like the frickin' Wii U, for goodness sakes. It looks like Animal Crossing with Breath of the Wild graphics. And a lot of people are saying it looks like a cross between Animal Crossing, Pokemon, and Stardew Valley, which is the developer of Stardew Valley is making this game. And then BattleTech. So with BattleTech, they announced BattleTech with a trailer from Harebrained Studios. It's a tabletop turn-based mechanical combat game, and your command base is known as Argo, and there are mercenary style missions from various like groups or factions, and there's an open-ended campaign after the story ends, which is kind of cool. So it might be a good game to look into. Next, a trailer was released for Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, showing large and crazy battles, and there was gameplay footage, and there was not a lot of information. And then Al Bookman, or Bickman, whatever, talked about Total War, or Warhammer 2, and the Battle of the Fallen Gates, and he showed off a quest battle for the game's campaign with new factions known as the Lizardmen and the High Elves, and there'll be 4 new races, and it'll be they discussed 2 races, and they said that they will not be discussing the 4th race, which is mysterious. And the game will be released on September 28th, and races from Total War Warhammer 1, the first game, will be playable in the sequel when a free update is released after launch, and they'll be playable on a campaign map with the landmass from both games. I don't know, I'm reading this from an article, techraptor.net, PC Gaming Show. E3 review. So next, a YouTuber named Kerparian talked about the upcoming Shadowverse expansion known as Wonderland Dreams. The expansion was shown in a trailer with some CG animations, and then Intel talked about their information with the PC version of Destiny 2. Tefty Teft came on the stage, which I have no clue who that is, and they talked about 4K Destiny 2, 21:9 widescreen, and multi-core support. And the game is optimized for the i9 Extreme Core, and apparently Intel helped get it to PC, which, thank you very much, Intel. I've been wanting to play Destiny on the PC for a very long time, and thanks to you, now I can actually do that. And Intel also talked about their i9 Extreme cores and the i5 and i7 extreme varieties or extreme variations, which will be known as X cores or X CPUs, and they'll be releasing the first iterations next week, and the second mid-range iterations will be in August, and finally the 18-core i9 will be released in October. But personally, I don't think you need 18 cores. I would get probably 6 or 8, but those are like running for $1,000, so they're kind of expensive. And anyway, like I said, Felix Kramer talked about Tunic, a game formerly known as Secret Legend, and it's basically a top-down action-adventure game, and they released a announcement trailer, and it features a fox traveling in a world in which it does not belong, I guess. It's coming directly from Tech Raptor, and yeah, Brandon Green, known as Player Unknown, took to the stage to talk about the game Player Unknown's Battlegrounds, talking about full release features such as 3D replays, vaulting, additional weather effects, new gun, and performance stability fixes and bug fixes and all that. And he spoke about possibly adding mod support in the future, which would be pretty cool, I guess, for those who play the game. And they featured a trailer with the new features. And then Bill Monk came out, creative director at Tripwire, touching on additional content for Rising Storm 2, and talking about Killing Floor Incursion for VR, and then revealed a trailer for Killing Floor 2's seasonal event known as Summer Sideshow. It'll be a circus with a bunch of cosmetic things, enemies, weapons, and carnival games. And it will be a 1 month time event, and weekly challenges will be introduced for 8 weeks, and the event is playable today via Steam. So anyone with Killing Floor 2, go ahead and do that. Then Bill Gleese came out, creative director of Forza Motorsport 7, talking about yesterday's announcement and the PC features. Talked about mouse and keyboard support, which, I mean, who really uses a mouse and keyboard with the racing game, and USB device compatibility. And Ted Timmons, lead designer at Rare, talked about Sea of Thieves in the PC version. Unlocked frame rate 4K 21:9. Then just saying like it's being developed with the Xbox version. And then Tim Soret revealed the last night a cinematic platform in the future where basically Terminator, where machines have surpassed humans, and it's an adventure game with real-time puzzle solving while the world occurs or goes on around you. And then the show continued with, there was an exclusive trailer for Bohemia Interactive's Yelands, I have no clue how to pronounce that. And it's a creative open world game. Ailzome, the creative director, took to the stage to talk about it, and despite having a different tone and art style than Arma and DayZ, the game's features will be focused on crafting and gathering. Oh my gosh, like this is really choppy. And the alpha version of the game is available to play through their incubator program. It'll be coming to early access, so it's kind of like Minecraft except a little better. Shush. And then a trailer for Griftlands, Clean Entertainment RPG, was shown. It's an announcement trailer. Cartoon art, party battles, sci-fi setting, and it'll be coming in late 2017 or early 2018. So good for them. And then this dude, who's probably Asian, who I have no clue how to pronounce his name, talked about Lone Echo, a VR game where you're a mining engineer on the rings of Saturn. And there's a zero gravity environment, which is pretty freaking cool. And the character pulls themselves around with virtual arms. And then Troy Baker is voicing the main character. And then a multiplayer mode known as Echo Arena will be in the game as well. So that's cool for that. And then Cliff Bleszinski talked about Lawbreakers, and there's a closed beta on June 28th, and the open beta is June 30th. The release date is August 8th for PC and PS4. You know, I have a feeling that this game is there's so many like Overwatch clones, like Battleborn and now Lawbreakers, but it looks a little different than Overwatch. So, I mean, I never got a chance to play it. I had a chance to play the alpha, and now it's in beta, so it's basically a fast-paced, zero-gravity gameplay, so that'll be cool. And then a trailer for Wargroove from Chucklefish Games came out, and they were talking about that. It showed like a map editor, and there's more content creation in the game, and players will be able to design their own campaigns, which kind of sounds like My World RPG, that game I have, that I made a video on, I think. And there's easy map creation and sharing. So Michael DePlater, vice president at Monolith, came on stage to talk about Middle-earth Shadow of War, more Nemesis, that's expanded Nemesis system, and they showed a new story trailer featuring the new character named Altera, meaning Talion. And then the final part of this show, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, is it. Adam Isgreen, the Microsoft creative director, announced Age of Empires Definitive Edition. It's an overhaul of the original Age of Empires, with better gameplay, Xbox Live, new soundtrack, remastered, and UI updates. It'll be developed in partnership with Microsoft Studios, and the closed beta is available now at their website. Dear goodness, that was freaking and that was the most boring conference of the day yesterday, believe it or not. So, now with Ubisoft. Yeah, and we still have PlayStation to do after this, so Ubisoft basically pretty much won. It won E3, according to a lot of people. Now, the highlights: Beyond Good and Evil 2, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and The Crew 2. which I've played part of the crew. I haven't beat the game though, and you know, that's another game I'd like to get the DLC for, because that game was pretty fun, having that huge map. I hope the Crew 2 still has the huge map, otherwise, its shtick is kind of ruined. And then Shigeru Miyamoto came on stage and announced Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. And yeah, it looks like Mario and XCOM combined, but instead of gruesome deaths, it's with Rabbids. And the game will be released on August 29th. And then it's the 10th anniversary of Assassin's Creed 1. So Origins was heavily talked about, and it's been worked on for 3.5 years, or over that, so almost 4 years. So good for Ubisoft. There's no reason this game should be crap. And The Crew 2 had a trailer featuring cars, motorcycles, and monster trucks. And there are also airplanes and boats. There'll be street racing, off-road sections, boats, and plane rides. That's freaking awesome, okay? The Crew 2 will be out in early 2018 on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Ubisoft, you need to release either Origins or The Crew 2 or Far Cry 5. Preferably all of those games. You need to release them to the Switch right now. Do it right now, please. I would love to play the frickin' Far Cry 5 on the go, man. Alright? The consumer is telling you to do it, because I will buy it. Now, South Park Fractured Butthole. So a lot of people just call it the Fractured Butthole. Got a trailer and is set to release on October 17th. And it's been delayed a ton, according to a lot of people. So there's no reason this game should be crap either. But, I think it's better to delay games than to actually release them when they're crappy. And then a title named Transference, which is a VR title, is coming in spring 2018. Skulls and Bones, which is a game about pirates versus pirates on the open sea. And a trailer was shown featuring the Loot Hunt 5 versus 5 team-based PvP mode. 2 teams battle each other with trying to win loot, while the other one escapes with the most shinies win. This is Noob Feed, by the way, so I'm quoting them. And wind will play a role in ship positioning. That's cool. Warships have different strengths. That's obvious. Broadside is vulnerable, and you gotta repair their own. Pirate hunters come in at the end, targeting pirates with the most loot, probably the British, and the players attempt to escape with their loot. I hope there's a campaign mode. Title is set to release sometime in fall 2018. Holy crap, that's a long time from now. On PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And then, Just Dance 2018 is coming out in October. South Park Phone Destroyer is a mobile card game. And Starlink Battle for Atlas is a upcoming space combat game in fall 2018 on the Nintendo Switch too. And I actually heard a lot of good things about Starlink. They said that it's like No Man's Sky, except it's with Skylanders. So we'll have to see how that happens. Of course, that'll be on the Nintendo Switch. And it'll be a massive open living star system. And you can customize the ships. And Steep is getting an expansion known as Road to the Olympics, coming December 5th. And then Far Cry 5. They released some gameplay. And now, basically, Hope County is cut out from the rest of the world by the cult. And there's like a dog mercenary that will bring you like weapons from the people you kill, and that's pretty cool. And he'll jump on people and attack them, which is pretty freaking awesome. You could tag enemies with binoculars and snipe them, and there'll be multiple companions like in Fallout 4 that you can order around. And the title, or the game, you can play in co-op mode, and it'll be released on February 27th, 2018. And then Beyond Good and Evil 2 was featured in a cinematic trailer, and I saw this tweet from this dude saying that if Ubisoft announced Beyond Good and Evil 2, he'll buy everyone pizza. And he's like, the 1 year I decide to make this joke, because I guess this has been in the works for like a very long time, and a lot of people have been looking for this. And you know, the game's in a different solar system. I don't know that much about the game, and Ubisoft pretty much won E3 according to everybody. And yeah, that was Ubisoft's press conference, and now we have one more. Oh, this one will be short, I promise. We're already over 21 minutes. I'm sorry. Alright, so Sony's E3 press conference. Hidden Agenda was an announcement. It's the next game from the people that made Until Dawn, and it'll turn your smartphones into PS4 controllers, which is pretty cool. And Matterfall, which is from the makers of Resogun. Undertale's coming to PS4, and another game called That's You, the opposite of Hidden Agenda. And Uncharted Lost Legacy was announced, which promises a lot of ancient tombs and different treasure hunts. And that game is supposed to be released on August 22nd, which, you know, I'm kind of hyped because I like Uncharted. I still have to play Uncharted 4 though. And yeah, so it'll be coming August 22nd. Horizon Zero Dawn is getting DLC called The Frozen Wilds. It'll be set in the Ice Age, and it'll be they released a quick trailer with Aloy in her techno armor, and some robot dinosaurs will be featured as well, and it'll be launched later this year. Days Gone, you can weaponize a zombie horde to fight other players, I guess. So you can like give zombies weapons and they will attack the people you are trying to kill, which is kind of cool, I guess. And yeah, it's from Ben Studios, and it's like Batman Arkham style, Detective Vision, and just a lot of cool stuff featured there. Monster Hunter World ushers a new age for Capcom's mega hit series. Games Radar article, by the way, quoting them. So I guess Capcom announced a new game called Monster Hunter World with high-res and realistic visuals, and it's third-person hunting. There's a fire-breathing dragon that's huge, and it'll be coming in early 2018. And probably the biggest announcement of the entire Sony press conference is that Shadow of the Colossus is going to be remastered in 4K for PS4 and PS4 Pro, and it'll be released in 2018. I might get that game because I've heard it's one of the best games of all time ever made, right up there with Mario 1. So I might get that game just to see how it is. Hopefully it's like $40 because it's a remaster. And Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which is it's a ton of heroes, including Doctor Strange, Gamora, Thanos, Black Panther, Nova, Dante, Arthur, Zero, Strider, and Nemesis, Grandmaster Mayo. And Dante throws ebony and ivory pistols to Rocket Raccoon for some dual-wielding action. Cool! Guardians of the Galaxy's featured. Okay, so Call of Duty 2. This game is not looking that good. Now, it looked good with the announcement. But here's the thing. Activision is gonna ruin it all by refusing to include swastikas. Activision, you need to include swastikas in a World War II game. On top of that, can you please include Pacific campaign or Pacific maps? How can you leave out half of the war in a game called World War II? The Pacific is the more interesting part of the war. I mean, no offense to those that fought in Europe. I mean, I would love to fight in-game on the beaches of Normandy. That's cool. Alright? And, American intervention in LB Day and meeting the Soviets at the LB River. All that stuff. That's awesome. The liberation of Paris. All that stuff. But you need to include maps from the Pacific, alright? You have to include Manila, which is the Philippines, alright? You should include a DLC campaign mode where you're a pilot dropping the bomb, on either Hiroshima or Nagasaki, but you won't include that because it's politically incorrect, okay? And you need... Oh my gosh, you need to include Pearl Harbor. I'm sorry, it should be part of the campaign mode. I mean, I don't think there should be a multiplayer map with Pearl Harbor, because how are you going to do that? It's a one-sided battle. But you can at least do the campaign mode. Like, for real though, you don't have to, not include anything from the Pacific! And on top of that, I think you should give the Finnish people what they want and give them some love and include the Winter War between the Soviets and the Finnish. Even though technically the Finnish were on the Axis powers, they were fighting their own war because the Russians wanted to take Finnish land, so they were just defending themselves. So, I've expressed my opinion that this should be the last Call of Duty ever made, in my opinion. This should be it. Activision should continue to support it. If you really need to make money, then go ahead and add paid DLC every year. But stop making different Call of Duty games, alright? This should be your last Call of Duty ever, okay? This should be it. That's it. Unless you make... Well, no, you've already made Vietnam. You've done everything. Unless you do, the Gulf or Korea. This should be it. Or the freaking Revolutionary War, okay? There's nothing else you can do. This is it. Just do season passes or DLCs every year. Do, a huge Pacific release. A huge, Africa release. Because I don't think Africa's included either. It's just Europe. How can you only include Europe? Okay? Should be an African release, Pacific release, Finnish released, okay? Just every year, just add a little bit more, okay? I'll be happy with that. And just keep adding campaigns and multiplayer. And I don't even think you're doing zombies this year, which, good. How are you going to do zombies with World War II? But just if you have to do one thing, just one thing, please include something from the Pacific. Okay? That's my rant. Okay? Game is set to be released November 3rd. Can't wait to storm Normandy virtually, because I would never have the balls to do that in real life. You know, those people who actually fought in World War II, man. Thank you very much. I can never do what you guys did. Too much of a coward. I'm too much of a coward. But I surely would like to respect you guys by being able to play what you guys had to experience. Okay, so PSVR is getting support with this game known as Moss. Skyrim VR, which is like Fallout 4 VR, except it's Skyrim. And Final Fantasy 15, which is just fishing. And Moss, which is exploration in a jungle. Alright. God of War 4. And it'll be a father and son relationship fighting like old Norse mythological legends, Greek mythology and Norse mythology. Kratos and his son Atreus fighting in Norway. That's kind of cool. And you know, it's just like talking about magic wolf, skeletons, shields, boomerangs, all of this, axes. Looks pretty cool. Set for release in 2018. And Detroit Become Human is a robot revolution RPG against humans. So it's like Terminator. I promise we're almost done here, guys. I'm so sorry. And yeah, it's just a winter in Detroit. Features this dude named Marcus and North. Cyberlife, which is an Apple store for androids. What else? There's holographic flags and techno graffiti. It's kind of like The Division, except you're fighting robots. And it's in Detroit, not New York. So yeah! And Destiny 2 is getting a ton of PlayStation exclusives. That kind of makes me angry because I played Destiny 1 on PlayStation. But I plan on getting Destiny 2 on the PC, even though it's getting delayed. I'll have plenty of stuff to play this fall, so, you know, I'll just go ahead and wait to when there's nothing in the spring, and I'll get it then, play the crap out of it. And there was a gameplay trailer, 24 minutes long. That was 3 weeks ago, though. And there's this dude named Gaul, the bad guy, taunting a guardian before kicking him off a cliff and killing him. And you need to rebuild your strength, get new gear, kill aliens, and there's a lot of firepower and a ton of perks. There's the Lake of Shadows strike, exclusive gear, City Apex, Borealis, and the Retribution PvP map. I think it's crap that they have exclusive gear on PlayStation, because I don't want to get it on PlayStation. So I'll just get it on PC. Hopefully it'll be available for Steam. Actually, I don't know. Let me check right now if it's available. Steam, don't do this to me. Wait, why is Assassin's Creed Origins available on Steam? I don't know. Still waiting for the Steam summer sale to happen. Oh well. Yeah, Destiny is not yet available on Steam, so we'll have to see how that is. And Spider-Man is like a combination of Batman Arkham, and Uncharted. In this gameplay trailer, and the gameplay was stealthy, and then the combat is like Batman Arkham series, and Spider-Man, it's like a bunch of quick time events, unfortunately. So, yeah, quick time events. That is it. To recap, a crap ton was announced yesterday. Ubisoft pretty much won E3. PC gaming show was boring. That's one I actually watched. Sony was pretty meh, and Nintendo's going on right now as we speak. So I gotta go watch that. Thank you guys all very much for watching. I'm sorry this was so freaking long-winded. But I'll catch you in the next one. So, yeah. Peace, everybody. Thank you for watching. Sorry it was so long. Please don't dislike for the length.